leaders build a life and business legacy on purpose through mindset, branding, marketing, sales, systems, and team so they can make an amazing impact and income and positively affect their communities worldwide. Ensure that you are sharing this show, you're subscribing, and you also are leaving us a review so we can create more amazing content around those areas to help you level up to the next level and also bring amazing guest experts that can share their knowledge and expertise with you so that you can create amazing legacy. All right, Legacy Builders, welcome back to another show. Today, we're going to talk about building your strong money mindset. We know that wealth building is one of those very important areas in the scaling of our companies. And who better than our guest expert today, Patti Handy, with quite an extensive background in the financial services industry or in the financial piece of the area of life that we always are looking to learn more around and also implement in our day-to-day business activities and operations to give us some insight around today's topic. Patti, thank you so much for coming here, and also thank you so much for sharing your knowledge expertise with us here at the Life School Masterclass Show.
My pleasure. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. The pleasure is absolutely mutual. Patti, where is it that you are actually connecting from today?
I am in Southern California, so I live just outside, well, about 35 miles outside of downtown Los Angeles, for those that are not familiar with my exact little town. But beautiful, sunny Southern California. Gorgeous day today.
Well, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that, because we are truly global here. And a lot of the times we like to meet in person. So there you go. We have a new friend there in California. I'm based out in New York. So this would be a very cool combo and conversation. Patti, let's dive right into the topic. So how to build a strong money mindset. I have an audience of service providers. They're all purpose-driven entrepreneurs and CEOs scaling companies that do more good in the world. What do we need to learn around the right way also, or the right shifts that we need to make as far as money is concerned in our journey as entrepreneurs?
Yeah, great question. So the topic is one of my favorites because it is, in my opinion, the foundation for wealth. I mean, I can teach you, or others can teach you the mechanics of money. You can work with a financial advisor, and they can teach you the mechanics of money, or a financial coach. You can learn the mechanics of investing in the market, managing debt, getting your credit score up, all those pieces from an academic piece. But one of the most important piece, I feel, is one of the most important pieces, is our money mindset. And what I mean by that is really what our beliefs are about money. And oftentimes, this is a subconscious situation. This is in our subconscious of how we relate to money, what our money limiting beliefs are, and how that then ripples into our world. So as a person who identifies with, lack, scarcity, fear-based mentality, if that's what you resonate with, if that's what your limiting beliefs are, because that's what you had when you were growing up and that has evolved into your life, that's what you will attract and that's what you will be working from. So our limiting beliefs create our thoughts, which then create our actions, which create our results. So if you're looking at your world, and we'll talk about finances here, but really any part of your world, whether it's health or wealth, relationships, if you're not happy with the result that you're seeing, it's time to kind of step back and take a look at what those beliefs might be that's running that, subconscious loop in your mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We love inner work here because we understand very clearly how that correlates to our business growth, success, and just being purposeful and building companies that we really resonate with, right? Because that's another important piece. I mean, we can build a very successful business, but if that's not a business that aligns with your values, authenticity, vision, mission, then maybe you're building somebody else's business. So I love all the three things that you talked about. And sometimes, of course, these things are hidden and we don't always know. So, reaching out and getting support is absolutely amazing. One small shift can make a whole
Right.
big transformation, can create a whole big transformation in your company for sure. Patti, so we're talking about finances. What are some things that entrepreneurs and CEOs need to consider when they're making their financial investments in their companies?
There's a lot of pieces that need to be factored in, and it depends on where in the timeline of a business owner is at. If they're starting out, you absolutely want to make sure you've got some cash reserves. You want to make sure that you have that cushion that will allow you to take on some expenses that that weren't expected. If you're moving along nicely and things are in good places, it's important to make sure you're taking advantage of every tax opportunity that you can. You want to talk to your CPA, whether it makes sense to set up a solo 401k if you are a solopreneur, whether it makes sense to hire your kids in your company and pay them a salary so then you can open up Roth IRAs for them. You would have to, of course, create a job or have a job that they do and they actually do. You have to have that all documented, and all that's got to be very legal and very transparent. But it's a great way for business owners to employ their kids. And I've even seen business owners employ their very young children and have them be models, if you will, for their marketing material. So there's different ways that you can capitalize on that, completely legally, completely done with your CPA, and take advantage of every tax opportunity. So whether that's a solo 401k, setting up a SEP IRA, taking advantage of what's called the Augusta rule, which is something that you can do where you rent your home out to your business. All of these are kind of unique ways that you can help your business take advantage of the best tax opportunities. Because at the end of the day, it's not just what you make, it's what you keep that's important. So very important to explore all those options.
Yeah, it's amazing how resourceful entrepreneurs can be when you're bootstrapping, or maybe you don't always have the sales flow that is coming in the company, or the cash flow, I should say. And there's so many other opportunities that we can leverage resources that might even free or available to us. So it's that saying that it reminds me of, it's better to know than to have, because then when you know, then you can implement the right strategies to be able to help you, whatever stage of growth of your company that you might be in. Patti, what about for businesses that are more at scale? They already have their operations lined up, they're more established, they have some team members on board. What are some financial, I guess, lessons or things that you could share with them that will help them kind of create that, keep that momentum, but also invest in the right priorities to be able to generate cash flow and profit, so they can turn that around, I should say, put it back in their companies or invest in other things that matter to the company or to the CEO and the founder?
Yeah, from the financial perspective, there probably will come a time where you need to work with a financial advisor, where they can help you structure your company in the most profound and impactful way that will help you. So whether it's a S corp, LLC, or sole proprietor, or full C corp, having that conversation with your CPA and your tax or your financial advisor to determine what makes the most sense, and then set up an automatic investing plan so that you are consistently investing in not just yourself, where you're taking a paycheck and you're investing in yourself, but you're paying your company, and you're reinvesting in your company, I should say, when it comes to things that will help you see that ROI for the company. Whether that means bringing on a team member that will ease up your time when it comes to expenses, and allow you to step into your your greatness and step into your area of expertise, and the more less impactful items that need to be taken care of, you can hire people to do that. So I think it's very important, again, from the financial piece, to work with the financial advisor and look at a actual financial plan of what needs to happen. And again, I'm going to go back to what I was saying earlier, which is getting the tax pieces dialed in, making sure that you're set up with a retirement plan so that you're max funding that retirement plan. I love Roth. So if you have the ability to do a solo 401k, do a Roth option, because that's tax-free money that's growing versus tax deferred. And we all love tax-free money. So explore a Roth option, and explore that for a SEP as well. There are some stipulations if you do your own Roth IRA. There are income limitations. So if you fund your own Roth or your own IRA, make sure that you explore that with your tax advisor, to make sure that you aren't getting yourself in hot water. And when it comes to your company, I think it's really important to just, again, reinvest in the company by way of looking at what is working for you, what's not working for you. And there's so much online noise. I mean, I get caught up in this too. There's so much online noise of looking at what other people are doing and you're like, oh, well, that works for them. Oh, that's working for them. And you're, the chasing of the shiny object that we, hear about, it takes us off track. So it's really about staying focused on what it is that you are, really wanting to do as far as your business model and your business plan, and stay away from the noise. I mean, sometimes I find like there's so much noise online that I can't hear myself think. So if we just learn to, ignore a lot of the external stuff, while still learning and still growing and taking in new information, that's important, but not getting caught up and always trying to see what's the latest and greatest, because that's going to make you crazy.
I am looking for sponsors for this podcast that aligns with our mission of helping purpose-driven entrepreneurs and CEOs in the service space do more good in the world through legacy entrepreneurship. Your offer, your mission, your vision of your business will be featured inside our episodes. We have a daily show here at the Life School Masterclass Show in 30-minute increments, 5 days a week. So your offer, your message, your vocation will be featured inside our show twice a week for 30 seconds. And I suggest that you put your offer through our podcast for at least 3 to 6 months for repeated consistency and for repeated trust building, so that the audience starts to know, like, and trust you, and also can take advantage of the amazing opportunity that you might have with your offer. If you're looking for more information on this podcast sponsorship opportunity, my email is right underneath the screen. Send me an email and we'll be able to further discuss this collaboration opportunity. Patti, I think you shared so much amazing wisdom around scaling your business and getting a financial professional to actually make those really high-level decisions that might make really, they might be so impactful in the trajectory of your scaling journey of your company, that just like anything, knowing is very important. And I love that you said, to stay very intentional with the disfocusing and kind of just the fear of missing out aspect of having and trying so many different things just because, things come towards us very fast today. So I think that's another discipline that we have to develop as human beings overall in general, so that we stay very focused on the things that we are working towards, because everything does take energy. And just like anything, I've realized that onboarding new tools, new things, new systems in our companies takes some time, just as much time as that onboarding new employees. So we have to be very intentional with how we're doing that, because it will take time to start implementing things, right? And that's kind of how we maximize the efficiencies of what we purchase and the investment decisions that we make, so that we can absolutely add ROI, which in our time, which I always say that's the number one ROI we always want to focus on, and then money, right? Because time is something we can never get back. And as you scale into the entrepreneur journey, it's always, we all start with trading time for money, and we trade money to buy back time, and then we trade money for money. That's the levels of scaling that we want to look into as we grow and scale. Patti, tell me a little bit around your purpose, the background, your journey. We all love kind of hearing a little bit more regarding, how did you get here? How did you get to do the work that you're doing out there in the world? What were some of the most meaningful moments in your journey that you could share with us?
Yeah, great question. So, I graduated college with an accounting degree. I was going to be a CPA, and decided that was not for me. It was just too narrow and too isolated. I just didn't love that. When I graduated, shortly after, I had an opportunity to get into a large investment banking firm. So I spent many years in the corporate banking world, got married, had my son, and then when he was 18 months old, I went through a divorce. And it was at that time that I didn't want to go back to a 9-to-5 type job, although it was 6 to 3 because it was market hours, and leave him all day with a nanny or somebody, because he already kind of lost his dad full time. I didn't want him to lose his mom full time. So I looked and explored ways that I can work at home and have some flexibility with my schedule, and went into the mortgage business. I was a mortgage lender for many, many years. It was a beautiful perfect fit. I was able to be at home with my son. I took him to school every day. I mean, it was perfect. And then I decided I want to become more financial planning related. I wanted those deeper relationships with clients. So I was a financial advisor, and I really enjoyed that piece. And one of the things that I heard over and over again, especially from women, both when I was a mortgage advisor and a financial advisor, was the fear around investing, the fear around money, the embarrassment, the shame. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know where to start. Especially when it came with, when it came to divorce and widowed women, when the husbands took care of the money and they were now left with, things on their own. And so I took a big leap of faith. I left my firm last year in 2023 and went out on my own as a financial coach. And so I am now focused on teaching. I work primarily with women, but I do have some couples. But I work with primarily with women and teaching them about the basics of investing. Getting good credit, getting out of debt, creating a spending plan, just helping them gain that financial confidence and create that peace of mind for them. And the seed was planted many years ago when I went through my divorce, because I knew that this was an area that was going to serve women someday, but I really was focused on, having my own income and raising my son. So it's now come to fruition where I am able to really make a difference and impact in women's lives, which is very rewarding and very needed. And it's just something that I really resonate with, and love to see the light bulbs go on. And if they end up hiring a financial advisor, they're just going to go back, into those meetings far more confident and comfortable asking the questions and know what questions to ask and understand the terms and the lingo that the advisors are talking about. So it's just it's a great opportunity for women to get that financial confidence.
I love it, and that's where we can tell that you're passionate about what you do and the mission behind the work that you're doing. And yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm also very passionate about education and inspiring people and sharing knowledge and expertise. That and you just reminded me of that saying, "Teach a woman to fish, and she can fish for the rest of her life." Right? Because we've heard that in the other traditional ways, but yeah, it's that time to be able to empower people with this information, education, and the world is so abundant. Women that have done their inner work and are leading from purpose, from their inner purpose, they can absolutely are very, very wise to intuitively even know where to invest their money and how to create more impact in the world. So it's like just the loops that keep connecting and how we all can empower and support one another and collaborate to be able to create bigger impact out there. I love it. It's a beautiful mission. Patti,
Thank you.
Can you tell me? I'm feeling to intuitively to kind of ask you around an impactful lesson that you have learned from your own school of life, based on even the journey that you shared with us, that you really feel like, okay, that was probably a lesson that repeated for you over and over, because that's how we usually need to
Yeah.
learn a lesson. Sometimes it's not something that we just learn right away. Something that you know is repeated for you, and once you have learned it, you've been able to kind of level up and scale your personal life, but also the mission that you have to empower women in the financial space.
I think that one of the biggest things for me has always been, and it continues to come up for me, as you mentioned, is, um, keep your ego at the door, be humble, and always be a lifelong learner. Be the most inexperienced person in the room. Be okay with asking the questions. And if they seem like silly questions, it doesn't matter. Ask the question anyway. I think that being a lifelong learner is something, it's a great gift for yourself. It's a great gift for who you're serving. I think it's important to just become that, step into that best version of yourself. And we do that by learning, whether we're listening to a podcast, reading a book, hiring a coach, working with a mentor, whatever it might be. But be humble enough to say, I don't understand this. I need some help. I really want to get better at this. And I want to learn about this. And then go and learn about it. Because again, the more you know, the more you can share, and the more you can serve, and the more you can impact others. And as you said, collaborate, which is a great way to in my opinion, I think it's a great way to serve the world. And it's part of your legacy that you're leaving. You can know that you've left something that is going to impact the world in a positive way, many, many years and decades after you're long gone. And that to me is very important.
Oh, I love that lesson, because then once you also discover yourself and your gifts, that you put that in the mix, and that's your own authentic sauce, right? And that's how we're able to
Yeah.
do the things that we're able to do and collaborate in such unique ways, because we're all unique anyway at the end of the day. But yeah, be a lifelong learner. I realize that the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. There's like always something
Exactly.
to learn. So you just become really intuitive in the process, and you just start to realize that you open up in so many other levels without diving into the deeper work here. But yeah, I mean, everything is much clearer, right? When you have clarity, that's powerful, because then you know exactly what is the next right decision to make. And decision making is another very important piece in us co-creating the life that we want and building the companies that we really want to build, but also that can contribute beyond ourselves. Patti, thank you so much for all these amazing wisdom. We've actually reached the end of our show. I would love to have you back, because I'm sure we can talk about so many different angles and go deeper into the topics that you also are an expert in, and they're helping your clients with. We'll definitely do that in another time. But I'd love to end the conversation with, where is it the audience can at least start this conversation with you today? Where do you have resources for people listening that they can just get introduced to your world, and then build that know, like, and trust, which is so important to be able to then co-create and do other things that might be a win-win for the relationships that at least we helped start from this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. The best place to really learn about me and how I can serve is my website, which is just simply my name. It's pattihandy.com. So PattiHandy.com. And on the very top homepage there is a free download for a ebook that I wrote, Women Soaring Solo. It's a financial guide. And then there's a master class. So once you download the ebook, you get to watch about a half an hour master class, and all that is complimentary. And then if you want to have a conversation with me, I do offer a 30-minute free discovery call. On my contact page, there's a link to my calendar, and you can book a call with me there. And then we could have a conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Patti. I definitely encourage everybody to go and check out Patti's website and connect on social media, whether you are connected here at the Life School platform, or you're just out there on social media. I say that could be a great way to start these conversations and look for ways to collaborate. Realize that at least I've clarified the 3 ways to really start collaborating to build knowledge and trust can absolutely be, audience swapping. That could be a great way to leverage each other's platforms to be able to start these conversations, and other ways that you can explore. So Patti, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you so much for your time and wisdom. And I want to thank you for always watching and supporting the show. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and review. And I will see you next time with another amazing guest and conversation. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.